Sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it really is an attitude adjustment. Sometimes it's a perspective shift. Whatever it is, seek the Lord and go from there. Instead of spending so much time and anxiety worrying about what is my path, I want to go on the most straight path as possible so I can have the most optimal results. That's a very difficult way to live life, right? Oh, I have a taper cut, I want to start, but I'm not ready yet. Or, oh, I'm thinking about cutting my hair into a taper cut and then getting locks. Or I'm thinking about this and the third. I don't know if I'm ready. Listen, 2 years later, this is where we're at. What's good, good people? Welcome back to Luvie's Corner. If you're new here, what's good, love? If you've been around these corners, welcome back, boo. The locks are locking and doing their thing, so I'm coming to you today with a hair video. And it's gonna be a little relaxed, just like a chit chat. Not speed up the camera. I'm just gonna show you what it realistically looks like when I take down my hair. So far, I leave it in twists. So I washed my hair, I wanna say, over the weekend, and we're on Thursday, so it's been a couple of days, and it just happened this way. Usually I take it out and stop by the next day or two, but I just so happened to kind of like what I was doing. I packed it back and I had a hat on for a couple of days, so I have a black scarf that I'll tie on the back, and then I put the hat on top, make sure everything is good to go. But pretty much what I like to do is I'll leave maybe like a few out, and then I'll put like a hat on the rest. But for today, we're taking them out, and so without further ado, let's get into this video. So first, what I have here is biotin, and I put like very little amount, like maybe like that's enough, like 2 to 3 drops there. I keep my hands moisturized with a little bit of biotin. Again, it helps to kind of put it all in my scalp. Sometimes I'll put on my ends as I'm taking the rubber bands out. As you see too, that's another difference. I use black bands. So if I know I have the strong potential of not taking my hair out the very next day, I use black bands because it's just better for styling. I don't want all that multicolor in my hair. So today, I have the black bands in, and I can come a little closer. So basically, very similar to the last video. Like I said, when I take out band 2 knots, I really just pull and pop them, just like that. Undo the end as gentle as possible, and then you just untwist. And then now this, if you want, I've done it before, you can leave it like that, and then you can go through and separate later on in the week. This is a style too if you want to do that. I'll go ahead and let y'all see what that looks like. And again, you want to be gentle, but at the same time, I know my hair and I know what my hair can take, right? But I still hold the majority of the lock right here, and then I gently tug until the band 2 knot itself comes off, and so does the rubber band. And then now I just gently unravel, because again, I don't want to lose the twist and the locks that I've gotten over time. And then just like that. I'm going to just take them all out like that so you can just see what it looks like, what a potential style can look like before you go through and like take out or separate all the individual twists. So let's do that. Okay. And just like that. So one thing that I did want to share is that I really do love YouTube. And for me, okay, so this one, I just happen to have a grip on the rubber band, so I'm just gonna undo it that way before I unravel the band 2 knot part. It just depends, you know, the way I do my hair is no hard and fast rules. I just kind of let it do what it do. But I do like to still show y'all in case you want that guidance, some extra tips. And so yeah, like I was saying, I really love YouTube. I love the YouTube community. I love what YouTube's all about. And I think for me, I've just been journeying as far as what I want my voice, my platform, my medium, my message to be here on YouTube. The whole point of me starting this channel, I had a therapist say that, like, basically you need a hobby. You need to find something that you're not already an expert in, and you need to be able to do something new, to challenge yourself, to allow yourself to make mistakes, to allow yourself to be on the entry level of something and then grow into mastering it. When I say mastery, there's different levels to mastery. There's introductory mastery, there is intermediate mastery, there's advanced mastery, and wherever you are, that's okay. The journey is still worth going on, because at the end of the day, you find yourself learning more about yourself. You find yourself being forced to give yourself grace because you say, hey, Luvie, you're not the expert in this. You don't have to be, but give it a try and see where you land in your mastery, right? I tried roller skating. I think I mentioned that on the channel before. I tried roller skating. Maybe it is not for me. I tried and it's just not for me. And maybe I'll pick it back up in another time, maybe not. But since then, I've picked up art and painting. The whole point of that was to give myself a chance to learn something new and discover what I find about myself, right? You come into this world and it's really a big journey of discovery, right? I tell myself day by day that I'm always learning something new about myself, always. And I think that that's part of the journey too. There's never a time where you arrive, because if you arrive, well, then what else is there to do, right? But instead, take a step to get to know yourself. This is coming from someone who is, thank God, a reformed perfectionist, and I can confidently say that because I just find that instead of spending so much time and anxiety worrying about what is my path, I want to go on the most straight path as possible so I can have the most optimal results. That's a very difficult way to live life, right? And I can say that because I've journeyed with that in my mind, versus now being more free-spirited, being more relaxed, like physically relaxing my shoulders and telling myself that, hey, moment by moment, second by second, that's how I'm choosing to live my life. Why? Because it allows me more peace and joy, right? If the former works for you, fine, right? There's no one way to live life, but the way that I've decided is, okay, what path brings me the most peace, right? Peace in the fact that doesn't mean that everything's easy, doesn't mean I don't face chaotic moments, doesn't mean I don't face my own traumas and challenges. Baby, that's why I am in therapy, working through my own stuff. But the joy of realizing that, okay, moment by moment, second by second, no pressure. It genuinely has afforded me less pressure. So what path, what mindsets do you need to confront in order to live a life that affords you more peace? How can I slow down, right? I was talking to someone on the phone recently and I was like, man, I'm just happy to be happy, because it wasn't always like that. And so moments and times like these where I'm genuinely happy, I'm actually happy. Yeah, really looking at life as far as how can I continue to be happy? Well, that means finding joy and contentment. I'm a firm believer too in wherever you find that you don't have peace, well, first of all, ask God as far as, okay, is my mindset wrong? Can it be adjusted? Can my perspective be adjusted? And then if those measures are taken, okay, what needs to be done? Because sometimes it's not always a doing thing. I got to cut off this person. I need to quit this job. Sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it really is an attitude adjustment. Sometimes it's a perspective shift. Whatever it is, seek the Lord and go from there. So I ask you, what areas are you looking to garner peace? What will that take? What will that require of you? How do you define peace? How do you define happiness? And if you never get it in these spots externally, how can we get it internally? Because again, not every solution is a them out there solution. A lot of times it's a you. You can't force them to be who you want them to be in your life. But what you can do is say, okay, how do I want to treat me? How do I want to live my day to day, right? And you move on that. So yeah, how do you, from where you are today, if you can't change anything else around you, how can you internally decide, choose to bring in more peace, to bring in more joy, to see and acknowledge it? Because maybe it is already around you, but you have to acknowledge that. part of what that looked like for me is being like, okay, giving honor and thanks and gratitude to where I am today. You know, of course, there's the big ideas and the vision and things like that. But sometimes that also means confronting yourself of, is that even from God? Is that even what he wants for me? Right? If it is, cool. If it's not, okay. If it is and you're not there yet, don't allow that space to be filled with frustration as far as like, oh, I don't see it yet, right? But keep the hope alive as far as like, yeah, that's coming. But I'm still going to be happy about today. I'm still going to be happy about where I am. So yeah, let's check back in on my hair. I feel like I'm getting close to done. I still got to check the back and see if there's any twists left undone there. Okay, let's do a feel around. And if you miss one, it's not the end of the world. Either somebody will tell you, you'll see it in the mirror later on, you'll go through your hair and pick it out, but you know, it's black bands, so it's not like it's gonna be that obvious anyways. Okay, so I think I've got them mostly out. So now, okay, so this is what it looks like having taken out all the bands, separated. Again, they're 2-strand twists, so you know, undone the 2 strands, but then also not fully taking them out. So I'm checking my mirror here. Okay, so I have one here. I just felt that. But anywhere else? Yep, feel one here. Anywhere else? So I'm just feeling all along my hair, see if my hand catches on a band or a twist. Nope, I think it's just those 2. There's this one, there's another one right there. There we go. Okay. So I was not always good at visualization. I think I just, you know, practice. I've been on this journey. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary being locked. And, you know, some skills, some of y'all might have out the gate. Some skills you won't have out the gate, like me. And one of those was visualization when it came to my hair. And so, but over time, I like, you know, feel through and shut off my primary sense as far as like sight and tune into like my next sense, feeling around my hair. Like, okay, you know, so I can like zone in on focusing on my hands rather than what I'm seeing. So that's why I'll like close my eyes every once in a while, because I'm trying to activate that visualization through touch. So this is my next one. I think it's my final one too. I'm just gonna pull that one off because, you know, you try one way, it works, try another way if it doesn't. And that's that. So this is what it looks like. And again, this may be fine for some. I've rocked it like this before because I was short on time, or I just didn't feel like separating it, or I wanted my curls to last longer, so I just left it like that. So now you can see what it looks like. Bantu knotted ends, the rest was twisted, and you can just do it like this. Now for me, because I have time today and because I want to, I'm gonna go ahead and actually separate further. Now the biotin that I had on my hand, the 2 to 3 drops, that was genuinely enough. Before recording, I just spritzed my hair with just water just to again refresh the moisture. I feel like it just helps the style look better too. Now I'm going back in to separate the rest. I'm going to add 2 to 3 more drops. My fingers were not dry that whole process. It's just now less oily from the product, but I'm going to add 2 to 3 more now. And this time I'm going through and I'm like, so I'm just rubbing it in like that. And now I'm going to actually separate. So if I'm starting the front to show you, this is what one of the unravels look like from one of the one of the bands, one of the twisted bands. So now this is from my training and years of being loose natural and like, what's the best way to undo twists and styles and bantu knots and flat twists and blah blah, right? So again, find whatever method you like. This is just what I do. Sometimes if I'm in a rush, I just go through and do everything. But today I'm going to gently go along the lock, bundle is what we'll call them, and just gently separate. And then we want to do that all throughout. Make sure that the roots of our locks aren't what they call marrying. And what that means is when you are getting a retie, if the roots of your locks, so like these three, you see how this is clean? I got a retie not too long ago, maybe a few weeks ago. But you see how this is clean? If I never go through when I'm separating and separate all through, these roots can have a tendency or potential to like lock up together. So now what the loctician has to do is go through and separate that. Sometimes that can be painful, right? So to lessen that, you go through and you separate your locks individually. I typically do this during styling because I style my hair once a week. I wash my hair maybe once a week, every 2 weeks or so. And so that makes sure that I do it all through the strand, make sure none of my locks marry, keeps them all individual. So that's what you'll want to do. You'll want to go throughout so that, again, when you're getting your reties, they're not as painful. So now you could and should go and do them one by one, but again, I don't care that deep. So I'm just kind of quickly going through them. So if I got this bundle, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, if you want to be more careful and have more definition with your lock, you'll go gentler. Like you'll do the whole find the pattern, okay, and then go against the grain. So I separate them a little bit. Now I'm gently from the root separating them so they could each, you see that, individually hold their curl. And then I just go back through and make sure that I separate at the roots. Okay, so that's how we want to do that. So I'm thinking of renaming this channel. I want to hear your ideas. I feel like I want to continue to talk about things related to therapy and mindfulness, coping, just day-to-day helpful skills for mental health and wellness. Okay, just to take a pause, but you can kind of see the difference in the fullness, and it gives it a whole other style having done this half versus this half. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going now. So yeah, I want to continue to talk about mental wellness, mental health and mental wellness strategies, tips. I absolutely want to continue talking about faith, because that's just very ingrained in my day-to-day life, so it's gonna come up. And then what else? And obviously my lock journey. I love my hair so much. It's been a journey to figure out what works for me long term. I've done quite a lot between braid, between being loose natural. I was relaxed for some time, and now I'm on my lock journey, and I really don't see myself leaving anytime soon. But part of what I was able to do confidently stepping into my lock journey, it's funny because I'll see quite a few comments every here and there talking about, oh, I have a taper cut, I want to start but I'm not ready yet, or oh, I'm thinking about cutting my hair into a taper cut and then getting locks, or I'm thinking about this and the third, I don't know if I'm ready. Listen, I always say do everything you can before getting your locks done, because it is quite a big commitment emotionally. I feel like for a lot of people it's a spiritual journey, so spiritually too, but then also like it's a financial investment for sure. I'm not going to deny that, as far as how much it takes to, or how much it costs rather, to get the installment, but then having to account for doing your reties every so often, whatever your schedule tends to be. That's an investment too. Now, do some people do their own reties? Absolutely. Is that a journey that I have decided to take on for myself? Absolutely not. Do I see myself ever getting there? Probably not. To me, it's a form of self-care to have someone just go and do my hair in and out, right? There are some lovely people on the internet who is able to do their own reties, and they teach it, they've taught it, they share all these other like tools and things like that as far as how to like specifically do it. I don't know what's the fastest time someone has done it in. I just know that the people that I've seen, or the people that I personally know, it typically takes quite a few hours, and sometimes they'll spread it out over the week or a couple of days. Me personally, that is not my lane or ministry. I would rather go sit down for 2, maximum 3 hours. I don't know if it's ever, I don't think it's ever been 3 hours, but 2.5 hours, and be done for the next several weeks, you know. So to me, that's my form of self-care. So I don't do my retouch, and I'm not going to do it anytime soon. I really don't foresee that. But yeah, so when it comes to starting the loc journey, my number one advice is to do everything your heart desires before you get locs. Like I said, it's a commitment, it's an investment, it takes time, you got to keep up with them. Now, some people have done it for a few months or stuck it out for a little while and they couldn't do it anymore and they abandoned the loc journey. That's absolutely fine. That is their prerogative. But for me, I was like, I want to give myself the best opportunity to stick in it as long as I can, as long as I want to, and until it gets to a length to where it is less of a headache, right? But thank God my loc journey wasn't that traumatic. I started with, like I said, a tapered cut, no more than like, I want to say half, maybe even 1/4 of an inch in the back, because before I was completely like shaved completely off, like I was bald, fully like skin. For some time, because that was a style that I've always wanted. I was always curious about what my hair would look like cut really, really, really buzzed low, and I loved it. I started off with a mini fro, and then I kind of shaped it down, and then I was like, nah, let me go skin. And so I did that. Then I grew my hair out to where I grew the top half, and the back was clean, very clean, low taper cut. So when I started my loc journey, and the very first one of my very first videos with locs, it was I had like no more than, I want to say, anywhere from 1/4 to half an inch of hair in the back half, and the top half was up to maybe 3 inches, anywhere between 2 to 4 inches for sure, but I don't think it was more. It might have been more than 3, and I think that's like the lowest. That's like the minimum amount of hair. I think I've seen people do it as low as 1 inch of hair to start the loc journey. And so, but I was ready to do that because I did everything else that I've ever wanted to do with my hair. I colored, I cut, I did the braids, I did crochet, styles. I did everything that I wanted to, so that when I started, I was just like, okay, I'm really, really in it. But if I ever have to go back, if there's ever a style that I want to do, I even did a wig for graduation, child. It was gorgeous, beautiful. But I know now that if I were to ever go back to any of those previous styles, any style that I'm even curious about, I already know I'll look good with it, right? And I know that I look great with locs. So really just giving myself the opportunity to do whatever and everything that I wanted to do. So if I go back, it's fine. Like, I know what I'm going back to. It's not like I'm going back in vain, right? But I love my locs, y'all. I really do. It's been a journey, and thank God over time I never felt like I had that awkward look or the awkward phase. I know some people have shared, and it can be emotional. It can be a mental battle too, because it's just like, man, I want the look. I want to be done. I want to be set. I want to know how I'm doing my hair. I want to find something that works for me where I can feel beautiful and feel confident, right? And so I just never had that challenge, thank goodness. And I know that's not everyone's story, but I'm glad. I still want to share mine. And I really feel like a big part of that was a tapered cut look, right? I never really bought into the whole, my hair looks, I don't know, it was never self-deprecating. I think it's because I have thick hair too, but then I've also just been through a lot personally and been through a lot with my hair journey as a Black woman, period, that it really didn't faze me. Like, it was better than anything I'd ever had before, even with my low cut and half locked hair. at the top, I still found it to be beautiful, and I shared those videos, and I hope you go back too and you can take a look at those too and see how I styled and how God Almighty was able to inspire me and give me ideas as far as how to do my hair, how to style it in a way that I like, that looks cute, looks professional, it did everything that I needed it to do, so that now I'm here 2 years later. I can't believe it's only been 2 years. What a faithful journey. But 2 years later, this is where we're at. And pray. I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in praying in any and everything, because if my Bible tells me that God cares about the details of me, as much loss as I have never taken the time nor cared enough to, nor had the patience to count on my locks. But if he can count every individual hair follicle on my hair, this man cares, right? So I pray about everything. I even pray like, Lord, give me fresh insight. Let my hair grow thick and beautiful, and give me wisdom and knowledge and insight on how to take care of my hair, how to love my hair, how to love the process that I'm in. And I would encourage you too, if you're struggling with your hair journey and you are a person of faith, if you're a spiritual person, I would pray about it, pray through it, as far as, Lord, give me knowledge and wisdom and help me to love myself in the stage that I'm at. It'll help me to love my hair at the stage that it's at. That's pretty much it. This is the final look. Like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel and it helps the algorithm to like push the video further to those who are new to the loc journey, who are interested about the loc journey, even curious, who may have a taper cut, start off like me and see the journey that we've gone through so far. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to hit me up. I respond to or interact with every single comment, whether it's just saying like, hey girl, hey, or it's to ask a specific question. That's absolutely fine too. You are more than welcome to do that. And on that note, I will see you next time.